Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to another edition of The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking an absolute masterclass in strategy that addresses a painfully common reality catching almost everyone in the industry completely off guard. It's fascinating, really, because we so often get laser-focused on that initial transaction, right? Working tirelessly, burning the midnight oil just to get that single first commission. And then we completely ignore the absolute most vital part of the business, what comes next. Once that first payment drops, so many people just celebrate, pack up, and literally stop working. We're going to explore exactly why doing that is a guaranteed recipe for failure and how you can actually build a sustainable business beyond that very first sale.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at the push-button illusion, what happens after the first sale, traffic, content, and problems, mastering the follow-up, climbing success mountain, and finally, motivation through edutainment. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The push-button illusion.
So let's start by pulling back the curtain on the mindset of the incredibly frustrated marketer. You know the type. Maybe you've even been there yourself. Endlessly searching for a shortcut, consuming training after training, but never really satisfied. Why? Because they aren't actually looking for an education, they're looking for magic. To break that toxic mindset, you really have to hit yourself with this direct question. What do I do after the sale? It's a direct hit to standard assumptions in this space. Think about it. If your entire business model relies on finding a brand new stranger every single day just to make a purchase, well, you don't really have a business, do you? You have a hamster wheel. Shifting your focus away from that initial transaction and putting it onto the ongoing relationship is the absolute secret to everything that follows. And that leads us straight into a massive psychological trap, the push-button illusion. It's the totally false expectation of overnight riches without actually building any foundational skills or follow-up systems. It's wild how pervasive this is, honestly. The stark contrast between the illusion of easy money, dreaming of just snapping your fingers and earning 7 figures, and the hidden reality of doing the actual consistent work. It's just a fascinating insight into human nature. We want the reward without the process. But unless you literally win the lottery, overnight success is a total myth. And expecting it is just going to drain your bank account and your energy.
Moving right along, Section 2, after the first sale. Now, what's really interesting here is what actually happens when you operate under that illusion. It results in the tragedy of the forgotten customer. You secure a new customer, sell them the product, see the commission hit your account, and instantly your brain goes, man, now I just need to find somebody else to buy. When you do that, you miss the absolute biggest opportunity sitting right in front of you. Neglecting the person who already trusted you enough to open their wallet practically guarantees they disappear forever. That repeat sale, it never happens. You did all that intense hard work of acquiring a customer, paying for the traffic, or spending hours creating content, only to completely throw away the lifetime value of that relationship for a quick one-and-done thrill.
Section 3, traffic, content, and problems. So, to fix this one-and-done trap, we have to look at your tactical foundation. You absolutely need to understand exactly where your audience is coming from and what they actually need from you, because how you got that first sale totally dictates how you keep the sales coming. Let's compare the distinct mindsets of 2 major traffic sources, YouTube and Facebook. YouTube is primarily for long-form video, deep educational dives. People go there actively wanting to learn something. Facebook, on the other hand, leans heavily toward text, pictures, short 30-second reels, memes. It's interruption-based. Your traffic source dictates your entire marketing strategy because it literally tells you the mindset of the person clicking your link. Treating a casual Facebook scroller the exact same way you treat an intentional YouTube researcher, that is a recipe for 0 conversions for sure.
Which brings us to a brilliantly structured 4-step process called the alignment funnel. Let's break it down. Step 1, identify the traffic source, just like we discussed. Step 2, choose the content style that natively fits that specific platform. Step 3, identify the real problem that your piece of content just solved. And step 4, determine your follow-up style based purely on those previous steps. There's a vital logic here, guys. Your initial content must dictate your ultimate follow-up strategy. If it's misaligned, the customer is going to feel totally disconnected and they're going to unsubscribe in a heartbeat. Let's look at a highly specific example from the source to really illustrate this crucial difference. Let's say you posted a motivational quote on Facebook. Someone saw it, they instantly clicked your link, and they bought your product. Ask yourself right now, what problem did you actually solve in that exact moment? Because remember, they haven't even used the product yet. The fascinating truth is, their real problem was a lack of motivation. You solved that problem with your quote. The product you sold them might not even actually solve their core psychological issue.
Understanding this disconnect is absolutely vital for how you approach them the very next day. Section 4, mastering the follow-up. And this brilliantly illustrates the most critical, yet often ignored, skill in the entire process. If the real problem was a lack of motivation, will your follow-up better include a lot of daily motivational emails to keep solving that core problem? The source highlights a massive divide in the industry right here. Amateurs, they'll just drop a link in a DM and completely ghost the buyer. They set zero expectations and rely entirely on the product to do the heavy lifting. But seasoned professionals, they nurture their buyers through carefully aligned sequences. They provide crystal clear next steps and rely on their own developed skills to confidently guide the customer to success. It's a night and day difference. Think of it as the call center rule. There's an incredible anecdote in the source material about working in a call center handling overdue bills. When a customer called to prevent their electricity from getting cut off, the agent wouldn't just warmly say, "Oh, hey, just pay us eventually." No way. They set strict, firm expectations. Their voice was confident and direct. If you don't pay this specific amount by this specific date, your account shuts down and you lose the arrangement. You have to set proper expectations with your new buyers immediately. Take the lead. Give them clear, firm direction on what to do next, or I promise you, they will be entirely lost. And when you do step up to follow up, especially through email, it is a genuine art form. The source actually drops into this incredible lyrical rhythm right in the middle of the strategy to emphasize this point. First impressions hit harder than a knockout punch, subject line slick, gotta pull them in at lunch. I mean, email marketing really does require finesse and bold action. You've got to capture attention instantly, striking hard the very second they open their inbox. It continues, like a loaded email ready to deploy. There is a really aggressive, structured nature to this description that completely reframes the task at hand. You aren't just passively sending out nice little messages, hoping for the best. You are mapping out an intentional funnel, stepping block by block, and engaging your audience in an incredibly crowded space. If you get the click, but have no plan for tomorrow, now you're just a decoy. You capture their attention momentarily, but without a follow-up, you gave them no real value, and they are moving right on to the next person in their feed. But here is the anchor to all that rhythm and poetry. The body of the message where the value resides, planting seeds of trust, watch them grow worldwide. That right there is the core lesson of the entire segment. Slick subject lines get the open, sure. The punchy rhythm gets the attention, absolutely. But providing deep, real value in the body of the message is what actually builds trust over time. It's what turns rookies looking for a quick buck into established, deeply trusted brands. Which takes us to Section 5, climbing success mountain. Let's step back for a second and look at the overarching metaphor used to tie all these tactics together. You are climbing success mountain. And it's an incredibly fitting visual, really. It's a gradual, angled climb that requires steady, step-by-step skill acquisition. It is not, I repeat, not a vertical brick wall that you can just magically jump over to hit a sudden jackpot. That deceptive first sale we talked about at the beginning, yeah, that is just base camp. The true summit requires actual methodical effort, split testing, learning traffic sources, crafting those highly valuable follow-up emails. It takes time. So I have to pose the question presented in the source. Why did you think making 6 or 7 figures doing something you've never done before would be as easy as clicking a button? Think about it. All your life, at a standard 9-to-5 job, you've spent years learning highly specific skills, enduring training, putting in the time just to earn a baseline income. So why would an incredibly lucrative online business be any different? Stop jumping at the vertical brick wall. Take the time to build the skills first, before you ever even share a single link. And finally, Section 6, motivation through edutainment. Climbing that mountain is undeniably hard work. It takes serious time. And the biggest challenge you're going to face won't actually be your product, your traffic, or your compensation plan. Nope. The biggest challenge will be your own internal burnout. So the source introduces a genuinely surprising and fascinating element designed to keep you moving. It's called edutainment. It's the blending of rigorous education with entertainment, specifically using music to maintain motivation. Let's face it, learning in a highly generic, dry way causes fatigue and ultimate failure. But actively adding rhythm, music, and fun to your daily routine, that fuels your day, massively increases productivity, and keeps your momentum completely alive when that climb gets uncomfortably steep. Let's see how this builds in practice. To prevent that burnout, the source outlines an actual support system so you don't have to climb alone. There are weekly live trainings to build your foundation, Tuesday Masterminds with Wayne Crow for deep, in-depth insights and, amazingly, a free exclusive edutainment music album. It asks if you're a hustle bear or a hustleberry, and it literally gives you a custom soundtrack for your success to listen to while you build out your funnels. It's just a completely unique, brilliant approach to industry fatigue. So, as we wrap up this explainer, you really have to ask yourself, are you ready to stop searching for the magic button and start building real skills? Because what happens after that first sale is what truly defines your business and your longevity. Put in the time, set the right expectations with your audience, enjoy the climb up the mountain, and start building something truly sustainable. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you on the next one.
On January 1st, the world will experience something unlike anything. It is the day the Hustleverse officially makes its debut. Welcome to the Hustleverse will be the first installment of the greatest collection of edutainment music to ever be created for the Hustleverse, and your first opportunity to get access to a movement designed to inspire, motivate, and fuel real hustlers. 2026 album of the year has arrived, and this is just the beginning.
Yeah. Everybody got a speech. Everybody got a quote. But when it's time to lift something heavy, that's when you see who's real. Talkers and builders. It's talkers and builders. Same room, different mission. One sell a dream with a smile. One bring tools for the fix. One love the sound of success. One love the word when it's missing. So I move with the builders, cause the fruit tell the difference. I seen them type facts, then they vanish when it's action. Whole timeline full of hype but no traction. They know every saying, every caption, every line, but can't produce one result if you give them the time. They'll debate you for hours, try to win with a phrase, while a builder take 10 minutes and change his whole day. I ain't mad at talking, words can spark a flame, but if it don't turn to work, it's just smoke with a name. I come from where the block had to share. If one guy to play, we made room at the chair. Now I watch these lone wolf types bragging online. Hope back in they bio, but they die on that grind. So I built me a system, put a map in the dirt, cause the truth ain't loud, it's consistent at work. If you can't carry bricks, don't call it love. I'm building a legacy, not a comment club. It's talkers and builders, same room, different mission. One sell a dream with a smile. One bring tools for the fixing. One love the sound of success. One love the word when it's missing. So I move with the builders, yeah, cause the fruit tell the difference, yeah. I used to take it personal, like why they don't support. Then I learned most folks clapping got no strength to lift more. Yeah, they tired from their own stones. They drowning in their own doubt. So they cheer for a second, then disappear when you're out. But I still keep receipts, cause patterns don't lie. If you only show up when it's easy, you not mine. See, a builder ain't perfect, builder bruising still here. Builder shaky some days, but he faithful to fear. Builder asks for the blueprint, not the gossip, not the tea. Builder stay, show me steps, not tell me what to believe. Talker love being seen, camera hungry, ego fed. Builder love being solid, hands dirty, goes ahead. Talker chase validation like a drug in the night. Builder chase elevation, turn pain into a light. So when I pick my circle, I ain't picking by fame, I'm picking by effort. It's talkers and builders, same room, different mission. Different mission. One sell a dream with a smile. One bring tools for the fixes. One love to work when it's missed. I move with the builders. Yeah, yeah, yeah. decision day, yeah, that fork in the road. Either stay in the crowd or commit to the code. Cause legacy get messy when your message ain't clear. They'll fight over who you were in a race while you're here. So I speak with precision, no fog in my tone. Who I am, what I do, what I'm building, set in stone. I'm building with believers, not browsers on the fence. Cause I like what you're doing, ain't the same as investment. Some can share a link, but can they help you build? Can they hold you accountable when you're ready to quit? Can they tell you the truth when your feelings get loud? Can they stay 10 toes when the wave hit the crowd? That's a builder. Someone solid when the spotlight gone. Someone playing with you daily till the harvest long. So if you want the freedom, bring discipline too. Cause the talk feel good, but the bill pull you through. Yeah. Talkers make noise. Builders make history. Choose who you are and choose who you build with.
Send in the rescue team before this get any worse.
This ain't a backdrop, it's a movie I direct. Every scar got a roll, every loss got a set. Lights on the truth, I don't shoot for effect. I turn pain into scenes the world won't forget. No permission slips, no waiting on chance. I cut the fear out the frame, let the vision advance. If life wrote the script, I rewrote the intent. Welcome to the mindset, movie studio mindset. I ain't standing at a screen, I'm standing in control. Whole studio in my reach, every button got a goal. They taught us consume, never taught us create. So I flipped the equation, turned delay into fate. Every failure got I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepare was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen, you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 47, day 3, and we are right at 19 minutes into today's challenge. So let's peel the curtain back. And I'm sitting here, I'm so caught up in the intro, right? I'm so caught up in the the excitement, the edutainment, that I forgot to check my phone. I forgot to check my phone and see and make sure that everything was streaming properly. And I happened to notice, this sometimes happen, tech issues, specifically with Facebook. So I go to the private group and all I see is the title of today's live. And there's no video playing. So 15 minutes in, there's nothing but the title. So I had to make some corrections. I had to, get the link, post it, edit that post so that our community in the private group is able to enjoy today's live. But you know something? I was fine with it. I was okay with it. Because often tech tech situations happen, right? And when those tech situations happen, we roll with them, we deal with it, and we keep moving forward. There's always going to be something. Something's always going to come up. And, you know, things like that are often things that we worry about before we even get started. What if I'm talking to myself? What if I do all of this work for nothing? What if I do this and something weird happens, something goes wrong? You know, what if I forget to, plug in my microphone? That's happened. Well, it happens. We fix it, we make corrections, and we move forward. So once when you get past that stage of, starting something new, or, thinking about being consistent with something, because consistency is a great thing, but it brings its own problems with it. It's kind of like the more money, more problems situation. You keep getting more money, and then, eventually you end up getting more bills, more bills. Then you get more bills, then you end up at the end of the year, you have more taxes and more taxes. So it's always a cycle, and you have to be prepared and willing to go through that cycle. But today, as it was referenced in that intro training and, the theme song, Talkers and Builders, today is Decision Day Wednesday. And I've made a decision today to not keep you guys too long today. I made that decision. And the reason why I'm doing that, reason why I made that decision is because I'm very excited as usual, but I'm more excited today than, on a couple of other days, right? Today is another special day. Today is the day that one of my favorite AI tools is getting an upgrade. It's getting an upgrade today, and I'm excited about that because I love the tool just as it is, but I can't wait to see what the new updates will allow me to create. Now, you saw a little example of what that tool can do, that the highway scene. But even in that highway scene, that wasn't the best representation of what this tool can actually do, because I didn't make that scene ultra realistic. The highway itself could have been a little bit more realistic, of course, but it wasn't an issue with the tool in its current state. It was an issue with prompting. It was the issue with the information that I gave it in order for it to create what it was that I wanted it to create. And I'm not even saying that I'm disappointed with what it created, because what it created was something that I wanted and something that I liked and something that was of great value to myself and the community that I shared it with. Now, I shared that video, the highway scene video, with a large community, and it got a great response. So that proved that you don't have to go ultra super 18K, 4K, whatever high definition resolution in order for people to accept you and in order for people to give you an applause. See, a lot of people think that something has to be absolutely perfect in order for them to use it, or in order for them to share what it is that they have to offer. And I want to tell you guys that that's not the case. It's absolutely not the case. When I first started this challenge, it wasn't perfect, but I still believed in the value of it. Now, each day I prove to you guys that it's worth everything that this valued number right here says and more. But, there will be people that'll say, hey, nah, it's, to me, it's not worth that. It's not worth it. But that's those people that, things like this wouldn't be worth it to them. But there's a whole other group or a whole other community of people that will find what you do valuable in whatever form you happen to release it in. Now, the thing about it is, everything starts off in one version, in its first version. And hopefully, if you're the type of person to stay committed and commit to the process of growth and development, and kind of like in that intro training, if you're not the type of person that, tries to climb a brick wall, a straight up and down brick wall, and instead you're the type of person that climbs steps, go through the process of learning, growing, developing, and then upgrading the version of yourself to a higher version than previously existed. That's your job and that's your journey. You'll never be able to leap a 10-foot high wall, but you're able to climb 10 feet high, you know, steps. You're able to climb steps that actually ascend 10 feet high, just one step at a time, one foot step at a time. You take it in bite-sized pieces, right? So today, I pulled up a new tab, but I didn't even pick anything that was on the new tab section to focus on, right? It was a few things listed here that, they were valuable, but I wanted to go with something that I already had open because I thought you know, it was a little bit more in line with what I wanted to talk about and what I wanted to share. Because I believe that we all know that, OpenAI, it has its various updates. And it's saying here that this story was released 3 hours ago, right? OpenAI launches GPT 5.5 instant with sharper, faster responses. That's valuable. That's valuable. So, I'm gonna take some time to explore that and use that to see what it is that it actually is able to do. Instant with sharper, faster responses. Now, one of the things that, I've had complaints about when it comes to Chat GPT over the last, let's say, couple months, really, is the fact that maybe it's because I have so many, chats open that it loads slower, it responds a little bit slower. It seems like the longer the feed you have, the more information that it has to it seems like it's trying to keep up with what it already has, and then it's loading the page. So it takes a while. Now, one of the remedies I found that really helps out is if just start a whole new chat. Now, you won't necessarily lose the information that you had on the previous chat. It'll kind of continue. But that was one thing that I was worried about, losing the information from one chat and starting another one and possibly having, that new chat section kind of forget what it was talking about in the previous one. So that was something I was thinking about. But I found that it's pretty good at keeping up. But I do like to stick with, one particular chat or two. And, I have so many open, I'll scroll through and pick, hey, I was talking about this topic in this particular one, and I'll click on that just to make sure that I keep things a little bit more streamlined. But that's not the story I wanted to talk about. I actually wanted to talk about this one right here. This was something that was released and actually says that it was updated 3 weeks ago. And it talks about how most people use AI like Google, but architects use this 3-step shift instead. So it goes back to what I was saying about my new my favorite AI tool getting a new upgrade, right? And I said that in the example that I shared with you, it wasn't the best work that the current version can actually produce. It was all up to the user. It was all based off of me, my particular prompt that I gave it. It took what I gave it and it produced what it interpreted. So, this right here, we're just going to talk about briefly. The key takeaway section. So, it says searcher versus architect. Most users treat AI like a search engine, asking short, transactional prompts that yield generic or surface level results. Now, I look at myself as being the type of person I'm in depth. I like to, you know, dive deeper than just surface level, right? So my prompts aren't just basic like, hey, create me a highway with cars and people on it. It's not as simple as that. I try to give it a little bit more detail. And as you remember, hopefully, if you were watching that intro video, you saw there was a gaping hole in the middle of the highway. There were helicopters in the air. There was things happening. Cars were falling into the gaping hole. So there was things going on throughout that video. So I had to prompt it and give it instructions throughout, scene by scene, because it was multiple scenes in that video strung together in order to create it. But I could have did better. And I believe we all can do a little bit better when it comes to prompting. So I don't talk to the AI like it's a search engine. Definitely you wouldn't type a long prompt into Google and say, hey, Google, I want you to find me this, that, and the third. Google would probably, you know, it would get confused. It would look for the closest article with the title of what it is that you typed in the search bar. It will try to figure out what it is that you want and give you a article or a link to a specific video or something like that to help you out. But now in the age of AI, you can be as in depth as you want. Now we have architect mindset. Power users treat AI as a co-processor, using it for iteration, logic checking, and brainstorming, resulting in highly personalized and actionable outputs. That's a lot right there. It got one of those key words in there that I often like to use, right? Logic. So logic checking. So an architect wouldn't necessarily think to themselves that they're the genius, that they are the end all be all, and that they know everything. And, I'm just going to ask the AI something that I already know, that, I just want it to tell me that I'm right. No, an architect is going to be more logical driven, and it's going to want the AI to check what it's saying for factuality, making sure that, hey, everything that I'm giving you and the way that I'm looking at things, if I'm brainstorming something with you, making sure that I'm on the right track. And I want you to go against me. I don't want you to agree with me 100%. I want you to agree with me on the parts that I'm right about, but I want you to use your independent judgment and your expertise to check me on the things that you believe is wrong. And that's how we get the best results, right? So it says here, resulting in highly personalized and actionable outputs. Because the reason why you're talking and communicating with the AI is because you feel as though the AI has something that you're lacking and something that can make up for your shortcoming. Now, I was on a mastermind last night, and one of the people on the mastermind, they made a mention that they post pictures in their posts, but they don't use AI. They only post pictures of, that they've taken. And I said, that's pretty cool. So I go to their page and I see they have pictures of themselves. They're sitting outside. They're doing this, that, and the third. But just about all of their pictures are of them doing something or some real life pictures. There's no AI involved. And that's commendable. It's commendable because a lot of people now are getting comfortable with posting on social media. Now, they weren't comfortable before because they didn't want to show their faces on social media. They didn't want people, in their business. They didn't want to, be outside their home and taking pictures, or go shopping and, taking pictures of them eating and stuff like that. But now AI has given them a way to, create their own scenes, create their own AI avatars, and kind of replicate what it is that they want people to think or feel about them. If you're the type of person that loves to garden, but you don't want to take a picture of you gardening, then you can go to the AI and just imagine that picture of yourself in the garden. Think of your AI avatar. And now you have to figure out, how am I going to convey that visual that I see in my mind to the AI? And now that's when the work begins. You start crafting the prompt in your mind. Bright garden with a man or a woman dressed in blah, 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 surrounded by these types of flowers. It's daytime. It's nighttime. It's sunny. Or the moon is out. There's various things that you can input into that scene that you see in your mind and have the AI reinterpret for you. So they've become more comfortable with doing that and, having their AI avatar do it. But this individual, they have the comfort level that a lot of other people might not have. They're comfortable with just posting themselves, the real natural version of themselves in their natural environment. And I commend that. So, next section, how to switch. So what you want to do is you want to provide context, as we just explained, constraints, and reasoning before asking for answers. Invite AI to challenge your logic, turning it into a collaborative workspace rather than a simple query tool. So think of it as your business partner. And if you're collaborating with a business partner, you don't want to be the person that completely dominates the conversation. You don't want to be the person that's always coming up with the ideas and it's my way or the highway type of situation. You want to listen to your business partner. You want them to be able to come up with ideas that are outside of what you yourself might be able to conceive. You want them to be a 50-50 type of, partner, where the things, of course, that you lack, they make up for. And when it comes to ideas, you want them to be able to give you a constant flow of inspiration, things that inspire you, so that it starts those creative juices in your mind so that you can become more creative. And then as you're becoming more creative, you'll have more questions, more ways of looking at things, and then you feed it back to your business partner. You tell it, hey, well, you just gave me an idea. I was thinking this way, but now with your input, I see that we can actually do this, that, and the third, and we can go above and beyond even that and do this, that, and the fourth. And then it becomes a back and forth situation where the AI is saying, yes, you're right. I'm glad you like what I shared with you. And based off of the updated information you've given me, Here's something additional that I think we can add on to that. And you just keep going. You keep going. You keep reiterating. You keep coming up with the new versions. And maybe once when you build out whatever it is that you're collaborating on, you look at the finished product in that version and you say, hey, I like what we have here. We are going to deliver this to our community, to our audience, let them use it, get the feedback from our community so that we can come back and collaborate more and decide on the next upgraded situation. So that's part of your challenge as an online marketer. And that's one of the biggest challenges that a person will have. And that's something that most people don't even consider doing. Now, going back to that intro training, it talked about the idea of, having a customer completing that one sale. And after you sell to that one person, you have no other kind of interest in them. Now you're looking for somebody else to sell a product to. Whereas you might not even have solved this first customer's problem. You might have actually sold them something that was completely unrelated to their actual problem, which means there's still room for another sale. You could actually have the product and service that they need in your arsenal, but just because they bought one thing from you, you think it's all over. That's it. I got them. They made a purchase. Now I'm going to move on to the next person. Well, that's not how you look at business, especially a thriving business, one that you plan on growing and developing and having something that's built for longevity and having something that won't keep you on a hamster wheel. Now, the thing about our online business, and specifically with our particular opportunity that we have, for example, here within this amazing academy, the OLSP Academy, is that we have so much to offer. There's some people that you'll come in contact with that need inspiration and motivation. And that's the product that they'll actually be purchasing. So we have that available for them. And that comes in the form of ongoing weekly trainings, masterminds, being able to communicate with a group of people that are like-minded like you and that can help you through various challenges, that can inspire you and motivate you through collaborative efforts. Then once when you get that inspiration and motivation, then you'll need some tools. Hey, you might decide that, I wasn't posting or creating content on my social media. Now I want to start creating content on my social media. So now there's another product that you can possibly have. And this was brought to the attention of the gentleman last night when I suggested to them that, okay, you have a lot of pictures, but you don't have any videos. I don't know what you sound like. I don't know what your perspective on life is. I don't know what your perspective on business is. Can you lead a group of people? Can you inspire? Can you motivate them? Can you direct them? Can you answer their questions? Well, if you can't, then we have something within our system that will help you with that. So the process never stops, and there's always something that can be upgraded, a mindset that can be upgraded. And after the mindset is upgraded, then there's some tools that you can actually use to collaborate with in order to get the job done. So when I look at all of the things that we have available within our amazing system, and all of the continuous things that we develop and, produce and put out, there's so many solutions that's provided, and it goes deeper than the first sale. So as I go back to the most valuable document in all of online marketing, I think about this doorway right here. This doorway that says grab your mega link. It's that front door that you can get access to. Now, your problem might be that you want a little bit of shelter from the outside. So you knock on the door and you do what you have to do to get inside. Now, when you're inside, you realize, hey, it's warm in here. So now my problem isn't about needing shelter from the storm that's outside. Now, you know, I need a way to get dry. It was raining outside. It was raining and cold out, but now you provided me shelter from the rain. Now I need to find a way to get dry. So you look around and you find, hey, this room right here has towels, has a fresh change of clothes. I'm able to access that. I'm able to get dry. Then you do those things, and then you look over. You say, man, now that I'm dry, I'm warm, now I'm hungry. I feel like I could eat something now. You look over, you see another room. There's a kitchen, and there's food in that kitchen. You go over to that room. Okay, man, looks like there's some good food in here. It's gonna solve my problem. After you eat, you say to yourself, man, I'm not going back out in that storm. This right here is a nice place to be. Somewhat like a nice resort hotel. I want to stay a while. I just ate. Now I got the itis. So I think I need to take a little nap. So you look around and there's another room. There's a nice comfortable bed in there. Plush bed. You go in there, you say, oh wow, this bed is pretty comfortable. I think I'll stay in this room right here. Nice big screen TV, watch a little TV, fall asleep. You wake up in the morning, you think, okay, I done experienced just about everything to experience in this nice resort, in this hotel. And then you find that you open your eyes, you look around, there's a breakfast buffet that's going on. Now you're like, okay, I can have some breakfast. I can go here. I can go to this room over here, and I can have some breakfast. And let me see what they're serving. Okay, you see, breakfast is served at this time till this time. And then they say, you know something? You don't have a specific checkout time. You don't have to leave at 11 a.m. like most other hotels tell you that you have to leave. You have to be out by 10 or 11 in the morning. They tell you, hey, you can stay a little bit longer. This isn't the end. This isn't all that we have for you. How about, come to our conference room and we're having a little discussion in there that you might be interested in. Come join our community, right? And you're like, wow, this hotel has a community. I can stay. I don't have to pack my bags. I don't have to leave. I don't have to be treated like a one-time customer that's being sold something and then shown the door. This is how your online business should be. You shouldn't treat your customer like a revolving door experience. Come in, go out, and be done. never see them again. No, make it an experience. Make them want to stay and show them that there's more that you have in store for them. A reason to actually stay, a reason to be in your particular community. And once when you do that, that's when you have a business that's built truly.
The phone is heavy in my shaking cold hand. I know she will never truly understand this, and the silence in the room
I made a
feels like a heavy weight. I have to speak.
And as you can see, things happen. I don't know what that was. Well, I just seen what that was. One of my Facebook pages happened to pop up, and you know what happens on Facebook, right? Something pops up and then it starts playing right away without you pressing the play button. But it's okay. It's okay. Nothing catastrophic happened. That's one of those examples of the unexpected happening, right? But what happened? Nothing. We got the opportunity to hear something that we might not have ever experienced before. But we're back to the program. So, with that, like I said, I didn't want to keep you guys too long today, but hopefully you got some light bulb moments. Hopefully the information we shared has given you a new perspective, a way of looking at your online business, a way of collaborating with tools that will allow you to build something, create something, and also a way of thinking about collaborating with your customer, not treating them like a one-time buyer, but actually collaborating with them, solving one problem, and then, working with them, talking with them, finding out what other problems that they might have that you can help resolve, and keeping the process going. Because this is a lifelong journey. And there's nothing better than going through a lifelong journey with people that you actually want to go through the journey with. Imagine having a great customer that purchases something from you and they actually like it. And you say, man, that's a very nice person. I wish I had more customers like that. And then you never see them again. Why? Why? Why wouldn't you want to grab hold of that person and say, hey, well, I got this too. Let's spend a little bit more time together. Become that person that, you know, is a constant, showing up always for that person, being there to help them through their journey, because obviously they purchased the product from you so that they can either start a journey or continue a journey that they're already on. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to need something from somebody else to help them with the next challenge. So why not let that be you? So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live. I look forward to tomorrow's live. And I look forward to, checking out this new update from one of my favorite tools, right? And I'm just going to pull it up right now because I'm excited. I don't know if today is the day, but they might not release the update until, later on. We might do a live and they might release it during the live, but I'm gonna hit that refresh button just to see, because it says Video Express AI 2.0. I refreshed, it still says 2.0 and I know version 3 is coming today. So refresh again. So more than likely it'll be released sometime throughout today. And I look forward to seeing all the updates, but look at everything that it currently has. When I think about all the other AI tools out there, things that I've tried, this one right here has far exceeded my expectations and it's been more valuable than any other AI tool that I've used. Now, this one and its brother or sister tools that I use when it gives me unlimited, meaning no credit based system. If I want to generate 20 videos, 30 videos in a day, I can do that. And it's not telling me, hey, you only have this amount of credits. And it's not saying, hey, you got to wait till the end of the month so you can renew your subscription. No, this is not a subscription based AI tool. This is a one and done, one time purchase, lifetime free updates tool. So you can't get any better than this. And I'm looking forward to what they have to announce today. So with that, I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna do my research to see, hey, what time is this update gonna be pushed through? And I look forward to showing you guys new creations that I come up with using this tool. So with that, have a great rest of your day.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first. But in silence, even whispers can't quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. To my PayPal ping, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spin like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This it's a heart-led path where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type. Blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every beat